Douglas Sands with the DS3 Entertainment Group, and I'm here with DIRadiocast.com, the evolution of Bahamian music in the digital era. Sitting with Bowe.
Yes.
Here in the studio today. How are you?
Very fine. Very well. Very well.
I wanted to touch base with you, talk a little bit about the technical side of music.
Okay.
A lot of the Bahamians, a lot of people who are having studios in their bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They have GarageBand, they have Pro Tools, Reason, Logic, Digital Performer.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say the marked difference in someone who's self-taught and
Mm-hmm.
using that type of equipment at home
Mm-hmm.
versus the expertise that you have acquired over the years?
That's well, the expertise, making the right decisions, when it comes to production, is really what's most important. I always say, if the bridegroom shows up to the wedding, all tuxedo tie, or just everything at the top looking fabulous, and then he wears dirty shoes, that doesn't he can't that doesn't bring it. In production, every single element of what you're doing has to be perfect. The whole, every step of the way. You can't have, great sounding drums, maybe great sounding keyboards, and then everything be out of time, or have, a great music production, and then the singers are not singing in key or making mistakes. The difference, since I've been able to work with a lot of the world's greatest artists, we spend a lot of time making sure everything is absolutely perfect. We go over lead vocal lines time and time again. On one song, we could easily spend a week just working on lead vocal. Backgrounds, same way. Just every detail is there's nothing spared when it comes to seeking perfection. And I think a lot of having this technology in your bedroom, and because a lot of it appears easy because drum kits and loops are already there, you just hit the note and the loop comes and you just go and say yeah, and boom, and they think that's it, but that's really not it. You have to go a bit deeper, take it to the next step to make sure that everything that you're doing is absolutely perfect. And that's what I normally try to, that's the only way to do it. That's the school that I came from, working at such a high level, making sure everything's perfect.
And the mixing and mastering process, a lot of people feel like if you are producing in your bedroom on a
Mm-hmm.
home studio, maybe using a Pro Tools LE, that the mixing, it's the job of the engineer who mixes and masters to fix those imperfections. Is that accurate?
To some degree, a lot of the sound is actually in the mind's eye, and how comfortable you are with what you're doing. A lot of the people who aren't the professionals, they're looking for a mastering engineer to save them, or if someone's just doing the recording, they're looking to the mixer to save them. Um, the thing is, you want to be able to just feel very confident about what it is you're doing, so that when you take your hands off of it, even if you do give it to a mixer, the mixer, like if someone gives me, I get mixes all the time, and there's a lot of little things wrong, and I go through and correct all those things. But I know what to listen for because of my experience, whereas they have no clue. And a lot of times I just worked on a project where the background singer came in and said, um, you turn up the backgrounds, and I was a bit afraid to turn the backgrounds up because the performance wasn't really that well. So what I did was I tried to work the musical elements around the track so that I can comfortably disguise the backgrounds. They're still very present in the mix, but they're not really as prominent as they ought to be. And again, backgrounds are actually in the back, but you have to know how to make things fit. Every song is different. Every
Genre is different.
every genre is different. Uh, every song has a life, and it's just up to you to figure out how you're going to make it live. And there's some elements. I remember doing a project where uh, the keyboard players and the guitar players in the band, they weren't that strong, but they had a really great drummer. So I remember saying, when I was going to do the mixing, I said, this whole project is going to be about the drums. So I found a way to make the drums carry the tunes. So you just have to figure out what the tune needs, and how are you gonna make it all work together? Make the vocals. There's some things you can do with compression and some technical things. You can make the vocal behave a certain way in the track. There's certain things you can do to enhance, just the part that you want in the music to make it work. There's so many little things that most bedroom engineers would have no clue. It just comes with a lot of time and practice in the studio, the manual way.
So as a local artist
Mm-hmm.
who has a raw talent,
Mm-hmm.
you believe you're a songwriter, you believe you're a musician, you have a gift that you want to share with the world.
Mm-hmm.
When you knock on Ozzy Bowe's door, pick up a phone, call you, email you,
Mm-hmm.
how do we get in contact with you?
Well, you can get in contact with me. I use my email as my primary source of contact. I do have a website, but my email is my name. It's oswald@bowe.net.
You're on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. I'm not that hot on Twitter. I'm on Facebook too, but I'm there.
So you're open to local artists reaching out to you for the type of advice, because what's the point of spending your money or spending your time putting a project together, and there are some small nuances that make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I have consultation sessions all the time with people. A lot of people want to come and use my services. The serious ones do, but every time I have a meeting with them, I always give them advice on what they ought to be doing to make their project better or their performance better. And sometimes I've had them come back to me. There's a lot of different ways you can use me. You can use me from the ground up and have me there holding your hand to make sure everything's slamming, or I can give you the advice. You can go and then bring the stuff back, and then I can put my 5 cents on it. There's different ways to work.
So are you genre specific? Would you say there's some genres that you're stronger in than others?
Well, I've worked in so many on so much stuff. There's not a genre that I don't think don't have a handle on it. I've worked with rock and roll. I've worked on R&B, pop, hip hop. I've worked on a lot of stuff. So
So give us a few, name some names or some songs that we might know that you've been a part of on the engineering side.
On the engineering side, I've done lots of stuff for Shakira. I've done work for Julio Iglesias. I've done work for Enrique Iglesias. I've also done work for Ricky Martin. I've done work for the Backstreet Boys. I've done work for Diana Ross. I've done a lot of work. I can't remember.
Well, and a lot of times I would definitely want to tip my hat to you, because a lot of times we don't realize that we have these professional people with this experience in our midst. We take for granted that resources like you are available to say, okay, let me have a listening session. Can you listen to my record before I send it and close up all my sessions and send it off if I feel like I want to send it off for duplication? Because those are the little things that matter. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity of you sharing a little bit of your professional expertise with us at diradiocast.com.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm glad that you had me. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. So, diradiocast.com, all in your ear hole. Make sure you check out the DI documentary series on the evolution of Bahamian music in the digital era. This is PJ Douglas Sands from the DS3 Group signing off. One love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. D-Mac is back. Oh, yeah. Get ready, skull. You've been making noise all night, talking while your friends are around. But how you gonna dance me?
Nobody's gonna say, you know what, that wasn't right, let's deal with this. It just won't happen. We don't necessarily fight for things unless, like I say, it benefits us.